So we're going to come through and synchronise them now. The very first thing I do is, if you flip it over, you can see where the idle screw comes down and adjusts your idle. So you want to wind that all the way out so that there's a gap in here, so that there is nothing holding those butterflies from being shut. Now, number 2 will be shut because the idle screw opens number 2. Then you've got this screw here, which is bolted to number 1. So this screw here moves this butterfly. This screw is holding number 2, but it adjusts carburetor number 3. And then this screw here adjusts number 4 to number 3. So what we need to do at the moment is go through, and we need to make certain that the all the butterflies are shut. So we just need to go through this one here, maybe even go through and shut the butterflies to get them all even. Because they're all going to be out. That one's out as well. So we get them shut first. Righto, so they're all shut now. Now what I do is I go back to the idle screw and I open it up until you can just see the edge. So concentrating on this one carburetor, can you see the hole on the butterfly? So can you see that top? Can you see that hole coming out right there? Can you see that? It's just coming out. So you want to adjust it. This is what I do. You adjust it till you can just see the very edge of the hole, which gives you a tiny mark to work to, and a tiny adjustment. So then you adjust number 1. You adjust number 1 to number 2. So you move number 1 until you can see, just see the mark on the edge of the hole, like so. So then we do number 2 to number 3, and he's going to go down, which is just there, and then number 4 has to come the other way. So you can just see the hole. That is bench synchronized. So then now that you've done that, you take your screw off, your idle screw off, so that it doesn't adjust. So when you put it on the bike, it just doesn't go instantly to 4,000 RPM like some blokes do. Because what happens if you adjust it, let's say we'll wind this in. If you adjust them when they're wide open a bit more, like so, and you say we'll have this one shut. This one's open as far as it's open. That one's open as far as it's open. and this one is double open what the others are, that is where you get your 4,000, where it just bounces straight to 4,000 RPM. So if you adjust them with the tiniest mark, the other way to do it is get a paper clip. If you're not happy with doing it like that, you get a paper clip that will sit under a butterfly and just move under a butterfly, and then you adjust the other ones so that it moves at exactly the same. So it doesn't matter so much the gap when you're making all four exactly the same, but that's how I do it. I do it by eye. That's bench synchronized. From here we throw them on the bike, and then we do it by air and vacuum. Righto, so they're on the bike. A lot of it's missing. All we're doing is synchronizing the carburetors just to show you how it works. Because what will happen is you can set them up without an airbox on them. You put the airbox on it and it will come out at different settings. So I'm just showing you how to go about it. So when you put them on the motorbike, your idle screw is out. So when you start the bike, it won't run. Like I said before, you don't want it going straight to 2,500, 3,000, 4,000 RPM. The other thing you need to do is you need to make sure there's slack in your throttle cable to make sure that you know that that is absolutely shut as well. So that's the other one. So we're gonna hit the fire button, and you'll see the gauges come alive. You'll see how close they are as bench synchronized, but they are still out. It's going to pop and carry on because we've adjusted, as a starting point, we've adjusted these to two turns out, and then we'll empirically set them because not everybody has colour tunes and clear glass spark plugs. So we'll go through and we'll set it by ear, the fuel mix screws, because there's nothing given in the book as to what measurements. So we'll do that and we'll start it out. So we'll hit the button, it won't run and it will pop and carry on. And then when it's running, we'll turn the idle screw up. So straight off the bat, that's not bad. That's not very far out. So, considering you've done that by eye, and that's by air volume. So we're doing all right. So we can go through. So they're basically the same, and they're basically the same. So we need to move this one in the middle down here. And even just doing this, see it coming alive. It's smoothed out a little bit. every time you change, you move 2 carburetors, the other 2 are moving as well. So you've got to balance it all, let the fuel and the air mix through, balance up. That's getting pretty close for a rough balance. So now we go through